Yes, winning generation. Welcome and thank you. Thank you, Isabel, for being here. Roger, Anja, good to see you again. And what we're going to talk about is I want to talk about embodiment, is what I feel. So we really can not just talk about ascension and what we're here for and like kind of being part of humanity's awakening, but also talk from the embodied state. Something that I practice, something that I'm reminding myself in this present moment whilst I'm talking about it. So, Isabel, it's yours. Thank you that you're here. Tell us just what's present. I think it's a good way to start.
So it's taken me a long time to understand embodiment. And I would say that embodiment is when you start to awaken, and let's say you're connected to your guides and you're getting downloads or information, or maybe you're at the point of watching a video and something resonates and vibrates within your body, right? And so there's all different levels of awareness, of awakening. And embodiment is when you understand something, then you must do it here in your own body, in your own life. So let's say one of the things that Goddess Isis taught me was all my fears are wanted. Okay, well, how do I embody all my fears as wanted? That has taken me a very long time to even get to the feeling and understanding that my fears are wanted. And so one of the things that I did to soften that was not think of it as a fear, but think of it as a lesson for soul growth, for my development, to grow, to expand my own consciousness. So I'm going to bring it back to the body. So when I come up with a fear, there were phases and stages to accept that fear. One of the tools that I originally did was I would tap, right? And I'm tapping on my body, acknowledging that fear that I'm feeling in my body, in my nervous system. So then once you get used to something that you are trying to walk the walk, talk the talk, you do it in incremental levels to embody it, right? And you gentle, and it's not overnight. It can be overnight, but most likely it's not overnight. It's a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. So embodiment is, it has taken me a really long time to understand it on the theory, ha, 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 ironically, embodying the spirit. So that is embodiment for me.
Thank you. Yeah, you're talking about Goddess Isis. I think if we look into the mystery schools, and I don't know how many of our viewers are into those types of things yet. It might be something very new for them to hear. Goddess Isis taught me. So just for those who might be a little skeptical about even channeling, Roger is channeling, and this might be a little weird. I just want to tell you guys who are a little skeptical about it, your skepticism is right. Like there's no wrong thing about being a skeptic. Just listen to the information that comes through. Because what I feel like, what is it, the information that we're talking about, that Isabel is talking about, or Roger is talking about, like what is it doing with your being? And is it actually something that you can utilize or that might be of benefit for you, you know? So rather than judging, oh wow, she's talking about like Goddess Isis told me, how can she say those types of things? Like or Roger channeling Wilhelm and does not remember anything that comes through when he is in the channeling mode. Like, it's okay to be skeptic, but let's take a step back and just like look at the information that comes through and discern. Because how many people are actually just talking, and yes, they look like a human, but what there's coming out is actually nonsense, to be real. Like, how many people are not talking honest or telling you information that you can't utilize for your own benefit, for your own inner happiness, you know, to follow your inner calling, to be yourself, to be happy, to be fulfilled, and those types of things. So rather than judging the people who say they are channels or who are in contact with entities like Goddess Isis, who is like an entity from ancient Egypt, like we have heard of her eventually, you know. Let's not be overly judgmental. If there's some judgment, just allow it to be. I don't care. But just allow the information, the transmission to enter your being and to learn to just discern whether or not you resonate with the information that comes through. Because this is the essential part of it all, that we learn to discern what information we can utilize for our own benefit, for our own soul's journey, you know, that benefits us. So before I take another channel on, I would like to hear Anja. Anja is channeling light language. This is another. I said before I take another channel. Now I take Anja. But anyway, she's doing her own thing. I would like to have her opinion on embodiment, and maybe even how your own experience with channeling light language is moving you. Yeah, just go.
Okay, embodiment. Yeah, that has been a really big thing for me for, I would say, last 12 months, something like that, a year. Because most of my life I was practically out of body because it was like, everything was so open, like my crown chakra, and I was all the time connected to the sky, but I wasn't really connected to the ground. I wasn't connected to earth. And when I started learning how to connect to earth, how to ground myself, everything changed. So embodiment for me is first the awareness of integration. So whatever comes, like downloads or like new insights, wisdom, remembrance, whatever. It's like first is integration. So you integrate it into your life, and then you integrate it into your body because like it becomes a part of you. So it's integration. Of course, you have to be grounded. So it really becomes a part of you. Like you don't have to shift into, I don't know, alternate state of consciousness. So like this expanded state of consciousness, but right here, right now, it's a part of you. So you can just tap in. Yeah, this is like not my light language, because when it appeared, first it was in ceremonies, and then it was I don't know, in meditations or whatever. Now I can just walk down the street and I'm like, just tap in, and I start speaking light language in the middle of the street, and people are like, the fuck is wrong with her? It's like, I feel good. I like it. I don't care. But that's it. That's the embodiment. Like when you really integrate something in your body, it becomes a part of you. So it's like, it's yours. Nobody can take that away from you. And you know that it has been here, since forever. So it's now like just you are whole. You feel whole like when you have that. So that for me is embodiment. Yeah.
Thank you. It's for many people, I think, for me as well, like when we start waking up or we come to a point of no return where we just feel like, okay, yo, now it's time for me to be honest. Now it's time for me to, just bring it all back to me, stop looking for validation, for approval to be who we are. Like, for me personally, it has been to bring it down into my body and the information that I'm receiving, or the sensations, or just the things that I'm aware of, maybe even intuitively in my inner eye, to bring it into the body and to learn to embody it. This really takes time. It's nothing that we can rush, and it's nothing that we should rush as well. I mean, our body needs like 7 years to rebuild itself. Like, every cell is new in 7 years, so we kind of move in a 7-year cycle. And it does take time to, from the moment that we start, okay, oh wow, I actually decide upon I am who I am and I want to be myself, and actually the full embodiment of that, and there are steps in between, and we come to new realizations or new remembrances. And yeah, there are like stages that we all go through, and Vajra is a beautiful example for like how long things can take.
There's a reason
Yeah.
for that.
Tell us all about it.
The post that I have on my site, Any Advice for Today, says you were never inadequate. That's all of us. And we come to understand it as we live. Now, we think about our physical bodies as being, having this time space, but that never goes on. Everything's happening in the now, and we've heard that before, but we're not necessarily going to live that. And so we each will access different aspects of ourselves at different times on our evolutionary journey. Isabelle's talking about fear. And so I wrote a book in 2019, Overcoming Fear, A Guide to Freedom. Now, I knew that was true intellectually, but to live it and then have that embodied was still took some time. And that's going to be the same for each of us. But we're also at a time right now in our world where we're wondering, well, why is everybody believing something different? Why is this all coming about? And it's so that we can find our truth, so that we can go inside and see, well, what is real and authentic for me? And that's going to be an individual path that we each have. And you start to know it when you feel more comfortable, when you start to feel more at peace with yourself. And that journey is going to be different for every single person. For me to be at this age, 75, and I'm going to say tomorrow, wow, I've been hidden long enough. That's all of us. We stop hiding who we are. And that's what's coming about now. So great. Oh, you switched on me. Anyway, so that's what I want to say to everyone. Just understand that we're each on an individual path, and there's nothing more important than for you to find yours and to start to feel comfortable, no matter how long it takes. That's what it is.
Jarne disappeared, so we're gonna wait for a few moments. He said that he has some issues with internet, so.
Oh, okay. All right. And I want to say this. If anyone listens to this and goes to my site, Any Advice for Today, I do want them to read those messages. No matter who you are, it will help. And Jarne said that I don't remember things, and he's correct. There is a channeling session there from February the 9th of 2024, which Jarne did a wonderful opening for it. And I didn't remember any of it, but there was so much great information that came through that would help more people understand what's happening in our world now and what's possibly happening in their lives. So.
Thank you. I couldn't hear anything. My connection just dropped. But anyway, I'm back. I trust that was awesome what you were talking about. Isabella's clapping her hands, so that's a good sign. So some reflections from Isabelle.
So Roger, I want to take that thread. So Jarne, I should have asked who your audience members were, because I would say these are advanced conversations and perhaps not for the very new. What I would say, because everyone's at their different levels of awareness, right? And the energies sometimes you guys can feel the energies, but you're not thinking of it as energetic. But you know something's going on. You can sense it or see it or hear it. Or the great thing around Instagram and Facebook or any social media platform, that algorithm is a reflection. And so it's not only a reflection of what you like, right? It's also a reflection of like kind of what's going on collectively. And it may not always be in your feed, but have you ever noticed that a friend sends you a video or an Instagram, right? And then you become aware of something. And so you're feeling those shifts of energies. There's a lot going on right now, or maybe you don't think there's a lot going on. It's okay, right? But I would say to you, and I think Roger, I think all of us in this room know that these energies are very strong that are coming in. And in March, it's going to be even stronger. And so one of the things that I would like to share with you all that grounding or slowing down personally for yourself, taking a pause, taking a breath is going to be really necessary, because you're going to feel frazzled and you're going to feel these energies, right? And we just want to say, all of us here, it's okay. It's okay. We are going into a stage of rapid change, right, Roger? That's a very nice, gentle way of saying that, right?
Yes. And I'm going to throw this in real quick. Let me talk about why. And I never knew this before. I could have never talked about it, but it kept coming to me. I talking about the energetic changes of our planets. We're going through something that we've never experienced. We've never had the configurations of planets moving in the way that they have. And as humans, we keep developing or learning how those affect us. But we don't have any reference right now, because none of us have lived during this time where we've had this configuration. And this is why things feel like they're going all over the place. But it's also for the purpose of evolution, meaning evolving, we reach a higher state of consciousness within each of us. And then the more of us who do that, then we start to feel more stable and can help others, which is how evolution comes about as well. But we can be really resistant. I was resistant for the longest time. I was never going to talk about any of this stuff. I was never going to I did a video earlier where I said I was never going to put myself out there. So we will each do it in a different time and different way. But everyone on the planet right now is coming into their own belief in themselves or their own truth in some particular way. And sometimes that's uncomfortable, because we got to go through all the dark stuff as well. So
I like that, like the uncomfortable. It's kind of where I think I want to take this, as we talk about embodiment too, and the frequencies that come through. They may make us uncomfortable, because something has to leave our system in order for something new to take place. And like we carried, and some still do, like generations of trauma, and we can all feel it, because we are feeling the collective body of humanity. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, we see what's happening in America, what comes up there. I mean, it's insane. It's insane, and we can all sense and feel that. And it's time for it to come up, because we're ready to look at it. We haven't been ready to look at it before. This is why we haven't seen it. But now it's time to look at it. And I can tell everyone, if you think like you're thrown back a few steps, it's okay. Isabelle said it so wonderfully. It's okay. Whatever that is, it's okay. Because it gives us time to integrate. It gives us time to become whole again, to find back to our body. and to see what's really important for us as individuals. And I think this is what it's all about. Like, to be who we are is just to be ourselves. And we have to leave all of the noises for maybe just a moment, maybe 2 moments, maybe a day, or maybe forever. And just find back to that silent spot in between everything. And this is when we've become whole again, when we see God in everything, when we see the beauty of this entire play, and we start winning. We won't lose ever again. Yes, we lose, we let go, we die, something old dies, something new gets reborn. But it doesn't feel like that we're losing. And, we're letting go of what's no longer serving, and we're inviting the new, and we're learning to celebrate that transition as well. So,
Can I
yeah,
read something?
if you have the call to read, brother,
For anyone who's listening, for anyone who was listening and who will hear this later, it'll make sense. We start to study this in science. We figure out that we move through cycles in our planets, in our world, but that's also information. Like Jarne was talking about, our generations, our things that we've carried with us. And so I was downloading cycles and didn't even know it was happening. But now we will understand 2020 was a transformative year. We all felt it. And so, we put it to the pandemic or other things, but it was still a planetary shift as well. And so the message that came through on this date in 2020 was this: you were never inadequate. We are so excited to bring you this message. It is one of those universal ones. That means every human being holds themselves back from what they might be because of a belief in inadequacy. Every person reading this will come to something in their lives that they know they want to do or accomplish, but feel they are not quite capable of doing so. That state of affairs is quite perfect. We are using terms you will understand. You were born to continually evolve, become more, and recognize your innate power to create the life you wanted. You would not do that unless you believed in the illusion of inadequacy. The other part of this equation, which you each figure out, is as you experience the belief of inadequacy, you feel terrible. The only manner you will alleviate that terrible feeling is to do the thing in front of you, which you felt inadequate to do. That's the message.
thank
And
you. Yeah, Anja is like unmuted, so I feel like she has something
Yeah,
important on her chest to share.
it was before, but thank you, Roger, for also for sharing this. And Isabel is back. Yeah, I see that. I'm just laughing because there are some issues with technology, and that usually happens when the frequencies are really high. So you see, that's a good proof that something is going on here when we come together. Hi, Isabel. Welcome back. So, yeah, what was coming through when I listened to you guys, it's that this is the first time in human history that we are doing this ascension thing in the body, in physical body. Every other ascension on every other planet was in different ways, but here it's in the body. So that's why last 12 years it was very, very strong message for me also. Anja, everything in the body, everything what you will be doing, everything what you will be getting, just focus on your body. And I'm not talking only about health and like physical appearance or whatever, but really feeling in the body. So even when we're doing shadow work is like when we're facing our shadow part, like uncomfortable things, uncomfortable feelings. What is the most important thing is that we feel them, not just, oh, okay, yeah, I feel a little bit, like that's okay, uncomfortable, oh, embarrassment, oh, shame, guilt. Yeah, that was that kind of situation. No, go meditate, sit down and feel it like in maximum level, like the
Mm,
highest level possible. You feel it in the body, so body feels, the whole body feels this emotion, and then let it go, and then
yeah.
let it go. So it's like embodiment, I think embodiment is the word of 2026. It has to be, because if you are not in the body, you cannot ascend. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's how I see it. That's how I see it. And a lot of people who started, waking up and meditating, and also, doing these ceremonies or whatever, it's so nice to be out there. Yeah, it is. But you're on earth. You have to be in the body. So if they're not in the body, they're not doing anything good for them. That's
Yeah,
that's what I
we get lost in our dreams rather than to live our dream here. Like we create alternative realities and we get ourselves out of here, but our physical body is here and we chose to be here. We chose to incarnate. And incarnation, I think, is an important topic to be talking about. And maybe Isabel can talk a little bit more about that after I just say what comes through me right now, is that I remember me choosing my family before I came here. So I have remembrances of me being in the heavens. And how do I know that it's a proof? Like, I mean, I can go back in it and it's like as if I'm still there. And if I look at Darius J. Wright as an example, when he shows those pictures of the heavens and how it looks like, it's exactly where I've been when I chose my family. It was this multi-dimensional wheel where it just could spin in really multiple directions and I could choose based on the path that I've chosen. I could choose the family, my path, the destinations, or the different time. How do I say, Isabel, help me out. Your English is better. Those time markers, like,
Yeah.
and it's insane. It's really beautiful, but it's also insane for the ego because the ego is like, what the fuck? Like you're here, like you started your life 26 years ago, almost 27, by the way. But for the ego, it's a very difficult concept to comprehend. So, Isabel, maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
I would love to. This is what I do all day, every day. So I am an Ascension teacher and I use hypnosis as a modality to work with the spiritual teachers and healers to go into other incarnations or other lives. I call it the soul field. Some people might call it past lives or reincarnations, right? But for me, it's really a field of consciousness. And so when Jarne said that he chose his parents and trajectory and everything like that, we all do. We all do. And we all make agreements.
Mm-hmm.
We even choose our name. We choose our location, our time, our dimension. And so, what I would like to break it down for you is imagine you are in a beautiful multiplex movie theater. There are movies playing in all different time periods. There's a Western, there's a sci-fi, space, outer space movie, there's 1800s, there's anything you can imagine. There's fantasy like fairy lives or superheroes, and your soul and your higher self, because you have a higher self that has a higher self that has a higher self, for your source code, whatever you want to describe it, but it matters not. There is love supporting you in your agreements. You're not making this in a vacuum. There are loving entities around you, assisting you to choose your next incarnation for embodiment of spirit in a body. And you choose your time period and a whole bunch of things that you choose. And so when I work with the healers and the teachers, and we go into the field, into the soul field in other incarnations, like Anja has been under several times with me, We're going there, not for curiosity, guys, because we don't have time. Sorry, it matters not. But we go in there with a greater purpose. We go in there with a greater purpose so that Anja understands who she is, what's her mission, connection to her spirit team, right? And we go through layers and we heal consciousness. And so I am very familiar with the soul field because after 2000 sessions, I hope I would be.
Healing consciousness, Isabelle.
Yes.
Like, I want to get that clearer for us. What I'm seeing you talking about this healing consciousness. For me, healing is connection as well. So healing consciousness for me is to connecting back with the God conscious field, with the field of consciousness that is pure, that is clean, that is crystalline, that's pure, all the originated form, like really the most purest form, the most ancient and the most new at the same time. But it's like, it's the thing that we all come from, it's all, and the thing that we all go to as well. And we can actually bring that here into this physical body, don't we?
Yes. So some might call that the Christ consciousness. Now, Christ means enlightenment. The religion took Christ, that word, but it really means enlightenment. Okay. So what Jarne is describing exists in the field of no distortion. There is no fear. It is just pure love. And so there's a lot going on in consciousness. And we could talk about this really until our last breath because there's so much out there. But yes, to embody there are codes. So when Anja speaks light language and when Roger connects to Willa and channels, right? It is information in the field that is really being connected through our heart. Okay? Now, just because you can't see something does not mean it doesn't exist. So can you guys understand that there is a spectrum of light and light is consciousness? And so you understand infrared and you understand violet rays, right? But there's visible light, which is the rainbow light, and then there's spectrums. But I want to share with you that your heart emits a signal that connects to the field of pure consciousness, what Jarne is describing.
Love that. Thank you. It's so wonderful. Roger, I know you have something to say, but like you're both unmuted yourself. No, it's Anja's time for now. I feel like Anja is now.
Okay.
Roger, you're going to do after Anja.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, when we were talking about healing, it's also about soul fragmentation. So every time, in each timeline, and previous lives, past lives, whatever, parallel lives, because we say that it's all now. Every time that something happened, trauma or something, like we left a part of our soul there. So when, not only one, a few of them, but when I'm doing this with Isabelle, every time when I go into soul field, I kind of recover that part of my soul. So it comes back to me. So it's mine. I embody it because I know what happened. I get it. I feel it. Now it's mine. So every time when I go into soul field with Isabelle, and anything else, it's like I retrieve my soul. So, and I can feel it. It's so amazing. You get more energy, you get more clarity. You actually, I don't know, create this space for new things to come in. And it's magical. So this, for me, this is healing. When you heal your soul, you're basically, retrieving parts of your soul that are scattered around, in the soul field.
Soul fragmentation, like fractal holographic universe. It's a very beautiful topic, yeah.
Wherever you are is perfect. That's what I want to say. Because I could hear all of this, and I heard it for years and years and years, and I would never know what it meant. I'm just saying this is what, and then since 1989, I would sit down and write it all and still didn't know what it meant, but it was all so accurate. And I thought, how'd that happen? We have different levels of consciousness. We each do, and we will access it at different times, depending on our particular life path or journey. And but it's, for many of us, it's coming about now because of the changes of our world, changes of the galaxies, basically. So, but I don't want people to think that because they haven't accessed it or done it yet, they're lost. It's not true. And because I could have felt that so much of my life and everything that I was moving through and all the difficulties and all the trauma I went through and illnesses and all that stuff that then changed, because then I started to understand it. Everyone will come to understanding their unique path, and that's going to be their gift.
I love that. Like Isabel was talking about, we have a soul and an oversoul and an oversoul and an oversoul of the oversoul and those types of things. And it's kind of also like with this fragmentation. So how I see it is the oversoul split in souls and those split in other ones. And they're all aspects of the same inside different dimensions, but we are all one as well. Like, and we are in a fractal holographic universe. It's the same thing. Like my body, the cells of my body are splitting apart, and like it's all kind of as within, so without. We are all made of the same, essentially. What we have to let go of are those. I have to be careful how I'm talking about this, because we want to keep talking about embodiment. And we can literally tune into anything that we want to tune into. And this is when we have to take full ownership of what we're choosing to tune into. Because most of the people, like, we are all channeling. This is my own personal view and experience, and I believe it to be true because I feel it and I live it. And depending on the frequency that we tune in, we create an experience based on that resonance field of the frequency that we tune into. And like, like we are all aspects of the same. And I think where we all meet in this room, the four of us, is that resonance field of the same kind of part of consciousness that just like fits perfectly together. It's like the puzzle. We all like four parts of the puzzle that are here right now coming together to build the whole. But we are also sharing it with the people, and those people are, again, those extensions of the puzzle that we're actually right now talking about. So it's a beautiful story. And we have to be very mindful of what we are believing in and what we're choosing to experience. Because when I had a experience where I was shown the concept of time, I woke up and I got pulled into both directions from the outside and the inside. And I had, like, the first time in my life I used Amanita muscaria, the red mushroom with the white dots on it. And I've done some yoga and I felt sleepy and I fell asleep and I woke up and suddenly I was very clear. It pulled me apart from the within and from without. And the numbers started showing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like a wheel, but like spheres of energy as well. And the 0 was the completion all around it. But when it reached the 9, it went back to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it just kept going. When I was in the 0, I was just observing the numbers, the things, the stories, the beliefs, all the stuff just happening. But when I got association with it, or I created a feeling or a story around what I was seeing or witnessing or desiring even, I got pulled into the number, let's say number 7, and I got pulled like through a portal inside this number. And again, it started again in this number 7 as an example. It started again 1, 2, 3. And as an example, in the 3, I was seeing a picture and I got attracted to it. I wanted to experience it. And I again got pulled into the 3. And it started again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's say I got attracted in the field of the 5 and what I was seeing and experiencing in the 5. And I got pulled back into the 5. But I could see it will never end. It is a never-ending story, me being pulled into new and new experiences. And I had this a few times that I just brought myself back into the 0 and was just like, okay, oh, fuck, I'm home again. Because not all experiences are great. That was like, I felt this like, oh fuck, I will never be finished. I will never be done. It was a feeling that I had as a child when I told my mom, I feel like I'm dying, but I can't. This endlessness, this like, it was very a torture for my physical being. And yeah, so we're incredible beings. I do believe that we live in a fractal holographic universe, and our thoughts matter, and our beliefs matter, and what we choose to be in resonance matters. So what I ask you as a listener, or everyone who listens right now and is here in this room or future reality, whatever, it's like, be aware of like, does the belief that you hold and the stories that you create in your mind serve you and the world or the people that you love? Or is it harming you? Is it holding you back? Do you try to prove anything to anyone, maybe even to yourself? Or are you just being and experiencing the journey? Because we are here to experience it. We can choose joy, or we can choose hatred and judgment and jealousy and envy and all of those things. It's a choice that we make. So, yeah, you live in your own creation, and it's damn time to take responsibility of that. So, I'm practicing it every day, and it's a hell of a ride, guys, I tell you. Isabelle, what do you have to say?
I want to say that, you know, one of the weird things when you start waking up is you're asked to observe your thoughts. You're asked to slow down and become aware of your beliefs or what you're thinking or what you're feeling, right? And I think starting there sometimes is harder than you think. And so, or you can't do it. So I just want to give a really practical piece of advice. Journal. When you wake up, first thing in the morning, before you even start your day, give yourself 5 minutes, because the thoughts are slower. They're quieter. You could do it at night, but it might be reflecting on your day or getting emotions out, which is great too. Don't get me wrong. But just try it first thing in the morning when you're really quiet and the day hasn't really started, and just journal and see what happens. Then you can always play with it and start journaling at night. And look, I have a bazillion journals, a bazillion guys, right? And I also have notebooks, right? But I find when you slow down and you write, and like people are like, oh, Isabelle, can I do a voice memo? Yes. Can I type it on the computer? Yes. But the most important thing is really connecting with your thoughts and slowing down enough. And so writing is one way to start that practice. And that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah, expressing your creativity. You know, like, since I can remember, like, and Roger mentioned this as well, and I believe we all have this to a certain degree. Once we remember, we can see it. We're not being taught to express ourselves, and I think we have to learn to express ourselves in some way or the other. For me, it also started with writing, or just recording videos. To speak for me is a thing that's very healing. And yeah, just some way, like Isabelle mentioned it, you know, like one thing in the morning, writing down, like your brainwaves are very slow. The information that comes through is very clean and pure, without any bias. You know, you're not trying to prove anything to anyone yet, which is a great way of starting to express yourself. So, and Roger is channeling his messages, I think, every single morning still, don't you?
Yes. And I'm just going to say, because I did this for, well, since 1989, just every day. And I never told people. I wasn't going to put it out there. I didn't even know why I was saving them, first of all. But it was important. And I see now that it was important. But again, as Isabelle was saying, it's about getting in touch with you. That's the most important reason for doing anything, is getting in touch with you. And that's what I'm guiding people to do. Because I couldn't do it all the time, especially honestly. And that's where we are right now. So yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Yeah, what an episode. I love that.
Yes.
Let's take a grounding breath all together.
Mhm.
How does that sound? Nice, down into the body, into the belly. And let's feel the solar plexus. It's time for us to activate our inner fire and to burn away all of the bullshit that's not serving us any longer, you know, and learning to breathe that in, you know, activating the sun within. And yeah, let's shine, let's radiate. And Roger, do you want to have anything else, or was that just a thumb up?
That was just a thumb up. No, let's get on with it. And it's our Super Bowl day, so that's what everybody should feel that within themselves.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. You will find our, you know, our stuff down below. Isabelle is to find on Facebook and LinkedIn, I think. Isabelle Zimmerman, you will find her. And yeah, our contacts are down below. Give us a like, share what you feel, what's on your heart, how you resonate, what's present for you. Share it with the people that you love, you know. If it helps you, yeah, the potential is high that someone else will benefit from it too. So yeah, we love you. Love and many blessings. Let's create the world that we all desire in our hearts, that we feel, you know, and even if we don't feel it yet, believe that you're a very unique and incredible being that's currently on Earth. The potential that you are the way that you are is how big. It's a fucking, like, I don't know how to say it. It's just insane to be alive. I'm very grateful to be alive. Winning generation is what we all are. We are the winning generation. And we stop losing and start winning if we own ourselves, if we learn to express ourselves, learning to articulate ourselves without hurting anyone else, you know, and just be kind to yourself, learn to be gentle, take your time, there's no rush, and yeah, you are loved. See you soon.